happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Ken Bozak.
And we're live. All right, everything looks good. Volume's there, bandwidth there. We got double O tats in the house. How goes it, bro?
Yo, what's up? You know what it is. Not another Bitcoin podcast. What's up?
Yeah, another day, another background.
Yeah,
Guys, check it out. You know, we have all the things in the background here, so keep your ADHD busy. Let me know what your favorite Easter egg is. We have our guest Thomas from Bit Refill here. Thanks for tuning in, or I guess remotely transmitting in to the space station.
Yeah.
Beaming in from the internets, if you will. Thanks a lot for having me. I know that you guys are longtime Bit Refill supporters and users. You even have our Internet Money hoodie on. That was we were passing out at East Denver, or the VIPs and OGs got it. So welcome to the club.
It was coveted. Thank you. It was coveted swag. I can't tell you how many times people asked me if they could get the hoodie or where I got it or if there was extra. I'm like, nope, and nope. I even used this hoodie to social engineer somebody at the door of a VIP party because everybody had these like yellow wristbands on and I forgot mine because I'm an idiot. But then when I got to the party, they were like, where's your wristband? I'm like, I'm wearing the hoodie. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, look at this hoodie. How many people have you seen in this hoodie come into this party tonight? He's like, no. Right. And I'm like, exactly. Right. And you won't, bro. Like, trust me. Right. And, like, I literally and I have witnesses, everybody behind me, like, after I got in, they were like, I can't believe that worked. I was like a Jedi. I have the Bit Refill hoodie. These are the VIP hoodies you're looking for.
Yeah. I'm trying to get one, man. I need one for sure.
Yeah, no, dude, it's and you know what? I made it the official hoodie of the podcast. So this is my hoodie. I wear it every podcast. I wear the same beanie. And in case anybody asks, I do wash it every 3 days or so because I sweat a lot in the podcast. I ain't gonna lie. But it's the official outfit, man. Like, this is what I'm using in my thumbnails. This is what I'm using in the podcast. I love Bit Refill. But let me give you a chance to introduce yourself to the audience. Let them know who you are, maybe how you got into crypto and how that led you to what you're doing now at Bit Refill.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say we'll make sure that some more hoodie swag and internet money swag comes your guys' way. So
Yeah,
fear
yeah.
not, and that way you can rotate the hoodies after sweating through a podcast. So for both of you guys. But yeah,
Sure.
I'm Thomas from Bit Refill. I'm our head of customer happiness at Bit Refill, and been here for about 5 years. Before that. Just kind of had not boring jobs. Started off in banking and brokerage first few years of my career coming out of college, and then I got pretty bored and kind of disenfranchised with the traditional banking system. Wanted to be able to sell or produce something that was actually tangible, that there was a value for, and grew up here in the Bay Area in wine country, and so started running wine companies for about a decade. And one of the last kind of uh, tipping points that really pushed me into crypto was in the final wine venture. We were working on a holistically sustainable wine system, which most people think of it just from terms of like agriculture and things like that, like how can it be
Mhm.
biodynamically farmed or like
Right.
Mhm.
regenerative agriculture.
Right.
And we were trying to think about it of a few different things, but one thing we wanted to make sure that it was sustainable also of people getting paid a fair wage. And one of the biggest things in California is a lot of the agricultural industry runs on either undocumented or underdocumented workers, or people that are just kind of we can see it now that even if people are are here legally or have family here legally or anything like that, there's a fear of
Mhm.
it being all taken away from you in a single moment or single mistake. So we found that a lot of folks, they it's like their access to financial systems and normal banking things that we would all take for granted weren't really there. And so we were looking at how we could use Bitcoin or crypto payment rails or anything along those lines to make sure that people were getting direct access to your money rather than just having a bunch of cash on their persons at all times that puts them at risk, or working with cash checking things and whatnot that take a giant cut, or just trying to send money to their family that they were supporting in a different region. So that led me down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. And after a little bit of time, my partners that I was working with were like, "Hey, Thomas, you're spending way more time and effort, focused on this Bitcoin thing rather than the wine industry. So maybe you should, like help transition over there." And one of the things that I came across and just trying to figure this out, because we were saying, okay, well, if you get paid, how would you pay for anything? Bit Refill came on our radar as being like a tool that people could use to be able to live on Bitcoin, live on crypto. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So then after that, it did Sergey and Sergey, Stina, and Michelle took a chance on me of coming into Bit Refill just because no real Bitcoin experience, but hopefully enough passion for people trying to live on crypto, and ultimately providing a good service and listening to your customers is something that translates across all industries. So that's how I over 5 years ago joined Bit Refill.
Love it, man. That's awesome. And shout out
That's
to
dope.
Bit Refill, Mig Toshi. He says in the chat, I just used the $15 I got on Bit Refill from ETH Denver to buy some Panda Express. Talk about living on crypto, bro.
Yeah,
Respect.
for sure,
I
There you
for
go.
actually
sure.
gave mine
W.
away. I got two of them. I'm probably not supposed to say that, but somebody gave me two $15 bit refill cards at East Denver, but I ended up giving them away to different Uber drivers. So I didn't get to bring any home, but I probably got two new people that were Uber driving into, the bit refill or at least crypto ecosystem. And I think East Denver, all the drivers were into crypto because they had like these free crypto rides everywhere. So it was so cool. But anyway, I digress. You mentioned customer happiness, and I think that's a really important title at a project or at a company or in a community, because a lot of projects they don't even respond to like technical support emails. They have either forms, and that is all you get, or at best maybe an AI chatbot now. But like we're seeing a lot more social engagement, community, in activity from Bit Refill. What does customer happiness mean to you and Bit Refill?
Yeah. So our customer happiness department, we do quite a few things between different operations, compliance, commerce things. But our core function and why it was started was to really, to really have a world-class customer support team. Not that the customer support wasn't great beforehand at Bit Refill, but probably if you were using Bit Refill in the early days, like yourself, Ken, you were probably getting a message from one of the co-founders between Michelle or Sergey.
Sergey, for sure. I was like, literally, it was
Yeah.
Sergey. I had the pleasure of interviewing him a few times throughout the years in the early days, and yeah, I'm positive it was always him helping me out.
Yeah. There's sometimes one of our favorite activities if is going back and finding some Sergey gems of what he's replied to customers on that one. So I think that actually, and just kind of going back to that real quickly on when a company's founded, I think that one of the reasons that we have such a good culture and ultimately we take the attitude that the only reason any of us are here are because of our customers, right? Like there's some people that think that their product or their service, like whatever they're offering, is so grandiose that it'll all just work out. But it does not matter what you're building if you don't have people using it, and ultimately you need to listen to those people to use it. So I think that that's something that's like fundamental to the DNA at Bit Refill, and one of the reasons that we are technically the biggest crypto e-commerce store that there is. Because Sergey, I think that he took on Sergey and Michelle and a few other folks took on customer support early on, and even had some of our devs doing shifts in customer support, so they would understand what those actual pain points are for our customers and what we need to build to do that. So being the voice of the customer is actually one of the core functions of everyone on the team, whether they're working on quality assurance or quality assurance testing or support or compliance or anything along those lines. It's making sure that that everyone, now at this point of the company being, about 90 or so people, make sure that everyone understands why we're all here and what we need to do to make sure that we keep those folks happy and we can keep on doing what we love doing as well too. So customer happiness, I would say, yeah, there's those kind of sub functions of support and different other things, but ultimately what we are trying to make, like what people need to keep in mind, is we are the voice of the customer. We are there to make sure we are both listening and making sure that message reaches everyone in the company. So that way we can build something that people actually want to use and is helpful for them.
Okay. That's a
Yep.
good. I'm glad. I love the way you answered that question, because me personally, I'm a customer and I was trying to use Bit Refill to buy purchase Visa gift cards, but you guys weren't accepting Bitcoin Cash, and I was wondering what way would I have to go about speaking to the voice of the customers in order to make that happen.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. I know that we do hear a lot from I know that Bitcoin Cash and also the Monero communities. We do listen to them. We do hear what like we hear you guys, and ultimately for us, there's many things that we want to build and that we want to support on those things. And when we do hear from you guys, those saying things like, hey, please support Bitcoin Cash or any other payment method, those are messages that reach the rest of the company as well too, for us to go through and figure it out from in terms of like finances and whatnot, because there's a lot of different steps involved in turning on a payment method on that one.
Yeah, if you
Right.
guys want to
Understood.
send somebody my way from the Bit Refill team that wants to get techie and dirty, I would love to go down and talk about like how the process is of even incorporating another currency into a platform like Bit Refill, because it's not as easy as people think. I've had the pleasure of interviewing a lot of people of like behind wallets and exchanges, and the amount of financial investment it takes just to have that button there to accept Bitcoin Cash is something I know it's not just a drag and drop situation. But I will say that I think the Bitcoin Cash community and a lot of these other communities would be willing to contribute or donate funds to help facilitate that like adoption. But let me jump into everyday life stuff, because like I see like Michael Saylor and Jamie Dimon, and like Bitcoin got to this like mainstream investment vehicle speculative use case, but I never see Jamie Dimon talking about buying pizza with his Bitcoin, and it's like where it all started, and they're just missing the grassroots point of it, that it's something that can be used for everyday life. Maybe you could try to talk to Jamie Dimon and Michael Saylor and let them know how they could actually use Bitcoin, not just speculate on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that we're all in the same camp on this one, where if you want something, if you want Bitcoin to be money, money, it needs to be used as money, right? Like, and for it to be money, you need to be able to save, earn, and spend that money. And for it to actually have any level of adoption, yeah, you need to be using it as money. And so it just sitting there, I know that some people would kind of take the other side of that, of like, well, it's sitting there and not being sold is a function and something that serves Bitcoin. I fair enough. They can have that opinion, and ultimately, it is your choice to do whatever you want with it. But if we want something adopted as money, you do need to be using it as money. And I would actually say, like, something, both of us, I think that all of us have gone to plenty of Bitcoin meetups, and in telling people that there actually is a way that they can simply spend their money, always kind of clicks it, is a aha moment for them to understand that they can have more of their money living in this more decentralized way and unbanking themselves, because they actually can still order the food on DoorDash, get their groceries on Instacart, or order the new MacBook or anything like that on Apple, with Bitrefill and other tools as well that are out there. Not to be completely Bitrefill centric on that one, but when you do that, or when you do make sure that that it actually is being used, it does help with adoption. And again, people knowing that it's not just buy and hold, and that you can actually use it as money, I think gives people that certainty and that clarity to be able to move more and more away from the traditional banking system. So yeah, I think I know that you've embraced that since I think you're saying 2016. So and it was, and probably a big pain point for you, like you're saying, was like in 2016, if you're going all in on Bitcoin, like, what are you going to do with it? You're running around to local Bitcoin meetups.
That was
trying to get
accidental nightmare. Yeah, I was talking a little bit before about it. Yeah, so in 2016, I pretty much sold everything. My like recliner. I think my brother bought my TV and Xbox, and I was selling everything to get into Bitcoin. And I found Bitwage, and with Bitwage, I was able to get my direct deposit with a routing number and account number every week, was just in my wallet as Bitcoin. And after a couple of weeks, I was cashless completely, because I unbanked myself. I sold all my stocks on TD Ameritrade. I totally went all in on Bitcoin. And then I realized that I couldn't really pay my rent and buy groceries with Bitcoin, at least not conveniently, right? I had to find those loopholes. And I sort of approached it like, well, what if I was stuck in America with like $1 million in, Hong Kong dollars or pesos or like Canadian currency? There has to be a way to spend this currency or that currency in this country. So I kind of like found those like exchange loophole kind of things with like Purse.io, God bless Purse.io, and Bitrefill, which totally changed my life and made it possible to actually, get an Uber, because I was traveling, going to conferences, and it was really hard for a while before I stumbled into Bitrefill. And I was like, wait, I could just like use Bitrefill then the way everybody else uses their Visa card. Like, I don't have a Visa, I'm unbanked. So like Bitrefill was sort of like my way of getting from, being in this box to being able to, do commerce in my world. I want to see like what are. Oh, go ahead, Double O, because you use crypto too every day.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I get a lot of funding in BCH, and not being able to having to put it on exchange to being able to purchase stuff. That's a pain. When I heard about Bitrefill, at ETH Denver, I was excited about it. Like, dang, I was Like, and then to find out, you guys didn't accept BCH, it really broke my heart.
Well, so sorry for breaking hearts, but I guess just to kind of double click on the concept that you were talking about is getting people to understand that this is just another currency, like that is that like something that people deal with all the time, especially if you're outside of the U.S. Most of the world is thinking in basically either USD or euros or Great British pounds, but there's hundreds of other currencies out there. And so as soon as you start to kind of have that click of, what you're doing with your Bitcoin is just managing another currency, you'll understand actually like how much easier it is for you. So one thing that, at BitRefill, with 90 some odd people, I think that we are in 27 different countries right now in terms of like our workforce. And most of the people, a lot of the people do get paid on crypto rails. I know I get paid in Bitcoin because it's easier. It's just easier that way. I think that, just maybe a few folks don't know this, but BitRefill is headquartered in Sweden, and them trying to run payroll in Sweden, touching the US dollars and the banking system, people can figure it out, but the amount of cost and admin cost and overhead to
problems.
Do that. Yes. Yeah. And stuff getting frozen, or your bank going, whoa, what's going on here? What's going on with that?
How I explain this? I tell a lot of people, especially my Uber drivers, is like, look, you're a citizen of the United States. So therefore your everyday currency is the dollar. If you were a citizen of Canada, your everyday currency would be CAD. I'm a citizen of the internet. My everyday currency is Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. Cryptocurrency is my everyday, because that's where I'm a citizen of. I work there, I live there, and I do e-commerce on the internet. So I get paid in internet money.
Yeah. That's great, because that's what you like. We're all either working remotely, pretty much all of our jobs are more or less dependent on the internet, and so getting paid with something that is a internet money, native currency to the internet, you see just how easier things can be. So it's way easier for our finance team to send out some Bitcoin payments rather than figure out all of the different international banking rails that people go through. I mean, this is one of the reasons that Coinbase was started. I know some people aren't fans of Coinbase, but when Brian Armstrong tells the story about trying to figure out payments for Airbnb hosts in different countries, you all of a sudden start to go, wow, this is a mess. And so what if we had a currency that was globally available to everyone, that then they have the permission to do whatever they want and reduce that friction? And I think that that's really where Bitcoin and crypto really thrive. And I think that, that's the reason that we're all doing what we're doing here.
Yeah, well, BitRefill is definitely reducing the friction for the consumers. I guess analytically speaking, what's the indicators on BitRefill that you guys get to see on the back end that are showing you that there's true adoption to using crypto as currency, not just what we see all the time as adoption rate as a speculative vehicle?
Yeah. I can. For us, we've had there's been over 1 million different users that have used BitRefill for the last 12 years. So I think we can say, hey, at least I think it's actually closer to 1.4 or something like that. But we have if over 1 million people have tried it, obviously people are trying to use it as a payment rail on that front. And one of the things that we do see is the people who do adopt it really find this to be a superior way to both to use money, to use internet money. So I think it's our top 5% of our customers are essentially responsible for, I believe it's 90% of our total volume. And those are folks that have been, like yourself, been on the platform for a long time. We do also see, new. You would say that they're whales in terms of their spending. they might not be whales in terms of their wealth, but they are really using this in a crypto native way, in a Bitcoin native way to live their lives. So we have quite a few customers that have been with us for a long time, and that kind of segment continues to grow. And like I said, I think that with that disparity of the 5% being responsible for 90% of the spending, you see that all of a sudden these folks, for all of the things that they can pay, they do. And in just interviews and things like that we do with our customers, especially a lot of our customers have been with us for a long time. There's a few things that they see as being superior in terms of the way of spending with crypto. So a lot of times, kind of what most people think about when they're trying to spend their crypto, they're like, okay, I'm going to transfer it to my centralized exchange, cash that out, then have it hit traditional banking rails and go through all of that. But you see it all the time. People get their accounts frozen. You're involving multiple parties in that. All those parties are incentivized to sell and share your information, versus when you are just going straight from your Bitcoin wallet to buying a voucher on Uber, and then redeeming it on Uber. The amount of the privacy that you have both for your wallet and your spending, and kind of removing yourself from surveillance capitalism is pretty dramatic on that one, because
it's dramatic
in
general. People don't know this, but like if you lie on your health insurance form, say I don't smoke cigarettes, and you use Visa to buy cigarettes all the time from your local convenience store, if something were to happen to you, your insurance company is going to get that data from Visa, and they were going to use that purchase history against you in your insurance claim. And all that money you gave them, they're just going to keep it, and they're not going to help you when you need it, and they're going to have all the reasons and all the data to do it. Not saying like it's okay to lie on your stuff. Maybe you're buying cigarettes for your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and you don't smoke, but they do, and you did not lie on the form. Now there's discrepancies in transactional history that real life problems prevail. So I'm just saying, like, using crypto in general in everyday life helps so much more than I think people realize, because like the financial system isn't just like out to get you with fractional reserve banking. It's out to get you with your purchase history.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, it's not even just it's even known within those big payment processors. I think it was one of the maybe the CEO or one of the top executives at MasterCard, I believe about 10 years ago, kind of was giving an interview and said like, hey, anytime I want to go to In-N-Out or McDonald's, I'm paying with cash. I'm not using MasterCard because I don't want that I don't want that fast food.
Hold up, double O.
I fainted.
I started hearing it. I hear an echo. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing a really bad echo. Yeah, dude, it's you, I think.
I think it's all good now. But yeah, if the executives at MasterCard are using cash when they want to, buy a cheeseburger and some fries because they're worried that's going to impact their health insurance premiums years down the line, or their whatever rate they get for their life insurance policy, you can tell that when you are making that transaction and just swiping that card, the amount of information that is then being leaked and resold and repurposed is pretty insane. And you don't want that, that weakness of when you're on a road trip and you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to eat some disgusting fast food because this is what's going to make me happy right now. You don't want that all of a sudden saying, okay, well, this is going to add, $25 every single month to my health insurance cost, or it's not going to let me get the, it's not even just insurance. Like maybe that will impact what happens at some point on how you're rated financially for a credit product or something along those lines.
Yeah,
so,
you can't have you can't have a legal permit for a firearm and also have a medical cannabis license. Those two licenses kind of compete with each other's rights as a citizen. So like your transactional history could actually get you, in a position where you could lose a right as a citizen because
Mhm.
it's visible that you're purchasing your medicine on this credit card or whatever. And
Mhm.
yeah, so like it really, like, it's trying to
Mhm.
explain to everybody, it matters so much farther and wider than you even know. I'm curious, what is like the you know, you're the head of customer happiness. What's like the loyalty points rewards model for, like, you know, the customers at Bit Refill? Because everybody has all these cool like loyalty points and rewards programs for stuff like this. Can you explain a little bit of like what that's like as like a Bit Refill end user?
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually gone through a few different iterations of this. You probably saw, like, I believe for a few years, we were offering cash back on everything. Like there was at least a baseline 1% cash back on everything. And one thing that, in listening to our customers, they said it was more important for them to get the best price humanly possible on the gift card that they're buying, rather than getting cash back. And so there was a lot of internal debate at Bit Refill, like, oh, is everyone going to leave us if we turn off the cash back program? And instead, we did it, and we actually saw volumes increase because we were able to drive down the pricing, especially for a few regions where they maybe aren't selling gift cards below face value to us. And so, being able to offer the best price and basically save that customer more discretionary money up front was the biggest loyalty program for us. So we still do have cash back on certain things, especially products that we are, that there's enough margin for us to offer cash back. So, like for example, most of our eSIMs do have cash back. So, because we see that as kind of being a new way that might replace traditional like prepaid phone plans and data refills and things like
For
that
sure.
over the future. So we do still have cash back on certain things. We also have had those cash back programs be a lot more specific to brands and products because of our partnerships. So, like for example, right now there is 10% cash back on Uber Eats for both the U.S. and Canada because Uber loves their crypto users. And there's a lot of stuff coming up with St. Patrick's Day, March Madness, and things like that, where they generally see like a big spike in folks, wanting to either order food on Uber or get around town. So generally, we found it was a much better loyalty program of always offering our customers the best available price that we can and saving them money on that way, rather than going with a cash back on that one. Because one thing as well too is you can spend on Bit Refill without creating an account.
Mhm.
Privacy in many different ways is important to us, but we also want to reduce the friction. We don't want to force people to do something like create an account if they can go do that. If we can offer that same experience for them without having an account. So, having an account, it increase your purchase limits and things like that. But a lot of people, they don't want another login. So one thing that like I believe it's about 30% of our customers do use Bit Refill without ever generating an account or login. And so we're like, hey, these customers, they should be benefiting off of this as well too, because they weren't getting cash back without a login. And so instead, it was the kind of the best outcome for everyone, and like the data shows it as well too, that always working to save people as much money as humanly possible upfront and reducing that friction is the best way to build loyalty, and know that so that way people know that you're doing your best for them.
I love that
Yeah,
you
no,
mentioned it's even for the users that don't have a login, because I do, but I don't use it for that extra step of, security as well, or OPSEC. And ever since, things like Chainalysis have become like kind of a well, it was earlier days, big conversation.
Yeah.
People seem to have forgotten, but I definitely try to limit what is, linkably to me. Even though it's just like, Bit Refill and Uber Eats and stuff, I still don't like being data mined by Big Brother in a way that like I start seeing ads in like the right toolbar that actually do apply to me. I do garbage in, garbage out as much as I can with like SEO and the algorithm and all that stuff. When I open YouTube, it is a garbage pit of random media, and it's way better than specific stuff repeated every day. The same stuff. I'm garbage in, garbage out. Give me something different. But yeah, I love that for the people that don't have to make an account, they can still use Bit Refill, and they're still rewarded for their loyalty as customers. Um, did you want to say something, Double? I'm sorry, I feel like I cut you off.
Nah, you good. I was just you talking about, reducing friction for the customers, so make sure you don't forget about the BCH customers, that's all.
Of course. So I know recently Bit Refill had a bit of a downtime, and there hasn't been much information on Twitter or anything about it. I'm curious if anything, could you let us know a little bit about like what happened at Bit Refill and sort of like what you guys had to do to get everything up and running? I saw just the other day you got Litecoin back, so congrats. But
Yeah.
it sucks that you just had to go through whatever that was. If you could break it down as much as you can, I'm sure the community is very interested.
Yeah. So, it is kind of limited what we want to, or what we can say publicly right now. There will be a full postmortem on this actually up shortly. It's a discussion in our Slack right now of just us making sure that we're confirming everything and being as transparent as possible. But what you can see is we were attacked by a pretty big actor. What we would guess is being North Korea based off of where those things went. And I think that what we can all kind of take away from that. So one reason why we were down for such a long time is because we keep so much of our own stack in-house. So for example, like even in integrating a new payment method, we're generally going to run all those nodes, make sure it integrates directly into our payment system directly. One thing, if you do use Bitrefill, you'll see like on Bitcoin transactions, we're never reusing an address. Same thing on Litecoin, Dogecoin, Dash, and things like that. Or if it's a EVM type of world where it's a little bit harder to use disposable addresses, we're rotating through hundreds and thousands of addresses. So basically, a customer will never receive the same payment address at the same time. We feel like that's a really big privacy step for our customers. So, we did take everything down and wanted to just, and to ensure our customer safety, make sure that everything was built back from scratch. So that's one reason why it was not just a 1 hour outage. It was a multi-day outage, and why you see payment systems coming back online in a staged way that we are, making sure our testing and completely secure and everything again. Because one thing from this attack that we can say is the only people that were actually impacted, other than customers not being able to buy stuff for about 4 days, was Bitrefill. Our customers weren't impacted for this because of how we've structured Bitrefill in the past. And I think that one thing that we can all kind of take away from this as well too is to just be really careful about what you're clicking on, who you're talking to, and what you're downloading. What you're downloading, especially if you're using that device for multi-purpose things. So, I would say you should not be using the same device for work or personal that you do for your crypto. Like that's, baseline. But yeah, like I think that we see these attacks getting posted all the time on X, where people get folks to download some level of malicious software, or get socially engineered. Click on a Calendly link, a Zoom download, or something along those lines to target people. And the kind of the prize, like North Korea. Like they see crypto, and now they see gift cards as being, because gift cards are pretty darn close to cash, unfortunately. And so because crypto and actually gift cards are pretty permissionless, they're great for both good actors and bad actors, unfortunately. So yeah, I would say, if you want to know what happened, we're kind of dotting our I's and crossing our T's, and all of that should be released pretty shortly. We're going to try to share as much information as possible, so that way people can other people, because we're a community where crypto hacks impact everyone. It's just like when you see a hack happen to a DEX. People generally aren't dancing on graves or anything like that. They're trying to help each other out with recovering funds, or auditing the code, or re-releasing, or anything along those lines. So we want to do the same for everyone else that is running a business on crypto, so that way they can learn from what we learned over the past bit. But I can say that yeah, like one of the very positive things is no customer orders and funds were not impacted. When I say funds, it's if you have used Bitrefill, you know that you can. We do let people hold store credit in BTC, USD, and Euro if they want to, and none of those balances were touched or impacted. This was really an impact internally at Bitrefill. And like I said, it's been a long journey, and burning the midnight oil on getting everything back up as people would expect. But we are doing this in a very cautious way, because we want to make sure that that we're not just re-releasing the same thing. We have a moment in time to make sure that our Lightning or like our Litecoin payments are improved, and our security stack is improved on that, and more redundant and more resilient. So yeah, so I think happy to go into more detail on different things that people have, but I can say it was a pretty big actor that was doing this. This wasn't just some kid in his basement clicking around and finding stuff out on that one. And yeah, that's I think.
Well, I'm
I think what we
sorry
can
that
say.
happened to you guys, but
Yeah.
I'm really happy that you used it as sort of like a manifestation opportunity, right? Don't call it a comeback, because we're not just back, we're back and we're better, And I think that's really important too, as like a customer of the product. It's great to see like it's not just back at like everything, as it was before the issues. It's actually back and it's better than it was before the issues. And I know you mentioned like bad actor use cases and how these good things could also be used by bad actors. I think a lot of people had I like the mainstream media kind of ran with like Bitcoin ATMs kind of being like this utility for bad actors and stuff. And I guess we could kind of get ahead of the mainstream trying to do that to the gift card world in crypto too, because there is that opportunity, unfortunately. But just like the Bitcoin ATM machines, there are things in place to deter it, to limit it, or to remedy situations. If somebody was like convinced to go to a Bitcoin ATM machine to pay their electric bill, there's usually some kind of pop-up or customer support that's like, you should not be paying your electric bill with this ATM machine. Somebody's confusing you. Is there anything at Bitrefill to sort of mitigate or deter bad actors from utilizing the platform?
Yeah. Long story short, yes, there absolutely is. We do have a pretty, shout out to Liara, Joao, and Leanne, and everyone involved on that team. They do a great job in making sure that we do, we want to be as permissionless as humanly possible, but also filtering that out to make sure that we aren't enabling people doing nefarious things. So. One of the things with gift cards, where I think that it won't go down the same path as being like demonized like Bitcoin ATMs, is because gift card infrastructure is one of those things that's core to a lot of regions. Like the gift card infrastructure in the U.S., it's been here for decades. It's very well regulated. It's very, but also like very open as well too. And that's one of the reasons that we utilize it. Is again, those those merchants, those gift cards, they don't care that you're using crypto to buy that gift card or not. That's like the same as going into your local CVS or whatever it is, or Safeway, and grabbing a gift card off the rack and paying with cash. And so gift cards are, as our society moves more and more to a cashless system, gift cards is as close as we can get to cash with merchants that won't accept crypto directly. And I think that we can also see that like merchant adoption of crypto payments is going to be a long and slow thing. If you think about a giant corporation trying to adjust their accounting standards, having to have a treasury management system or anything along those lines. So, like I said, there's plenty of brands that absolutely love our crypto users, but they're like, hey, please just use a payment system that we know works well for us, like Uber, like Instacart, like DoorDash. Those are brands that, in Airbnb, those are brands that actually do love their crypto users, and they are like, but please use a tested payment system that we already can enable, which is gift cards.
Yeah, they love their gift cards. It's basically turned brands and businesses into banks now. That's how, like, Apple is starting to become, or is a bank actually. Starbucks and Walmart are basically banks. And that's why a lot of these companies offer credit cards, is because their gift card model made them a bank in which they could offer you interest and rewards on spending with their gift cards and stuff. So yeah, any way that they can get their gift cards, and I think that is another testament to like the fact that we are headed towards a cashless society. Is even like your Walmart gift card or Walmart credit card or whatever will give you a better return than like U.S. Treasury bonds or a bank at this point, right? So it's like I think X is coming out with like a competitive banking model that's pretty much like going straight for Visa's throat and all the banks' throats with like their reward model because of how much revenue they generate. They're just gamifying it in a bank matter, which is really cool. I guess what's like one of the most used gift cards on BitRefill? Is it like Uber Eats? Is it Amazon? What's like the number one go-to that has like the highest like volume for end users on BitRefill?
I bet you it's Amazon.
Yeah.
I bet you it's Uber.
Well, how about this? You're both kind of right. You're both kind of you're both kind of wrong. You've been right at different times. So Amazon used to be king for us because also that was like a lot of people's first purchase because it's a well trusted brand. They know how to use it. They know how to use that gift card flow versus there's some gift cards that your first gift card you don't want is to be a Safeway or a grocery store gift card where you're sitting there in line, stumbling through and being like, okay, when do I scan the barcode, right? So there's already that like trust, knowledge, and people know what they're doing with that. So that used to be number one, but we also do like, and I would say that like when you look at it from a revenue perspective of retention and all of that, that's where Uber and DoorDash are king of people, when they get that into their spending habit. That's what, a lot of the longtime users are spending a ton on.
That's what I use it the most for. Uber Eats.
Yeah, but from a volume perspective, one thing that did, we actually do have a partnership with Visa to offer non-reloadable virtual Visas and MasterCards. And that has really turned into our number one product after we got Apple and Google Pay enabled on that as well
awesome.
too.
You keep saying partnerships. Like I kind of want to dive in and define that more because a lot of projects will say they partnered with stuff and it's like I partnered with Apple because we bought a Mac and that's what we're using for development, right? So like, does Visa? Is there like an actual like agreement? Are they aware of the existence of Bit? Like they're actually aware of this partnership, or is BitRefill using like an API affiliate program plugin kind of thing? Because like again, the word like partnership could be very broadly used in this space particularly, and I want to see like how partnered is BitRefill with these companies where they're offering those like rewards. Because Miggy said he just got 15 cents back on his Panda Express. Thank you, BitRefill.
Great, that's awesome. But yeah, like so for us, one of the reasons that we've been around for over 12 years is doing things as by the book as humanly possible at every point. So for example, like with when I'm talking about partnering with the brands, that is literally us working with Uber and Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, Airbnb, and I'll talk a little bit more specifically about Visa to have them approve and be completely aware of their product being sold on Bit Refill. That I think is just a much better thing for the people, for actually not only just your company, but for your customers, because you again, it's reducing those different parties involved. If there's another, another website might sell Uber gift cards and might not have that brand approval, versus we're right there approved on the Uber Uber API, generating those codes. And so we know when a Uber code is generated. Yes, there are sometimes like very, very, very small instances where they generate a code, they forgot to activate it in the system, or a little glitch or something like that, or an outage. But we know that if a customer received an order on those brands, that is 100% a gift card that is coming directly from the brand. And when we, if they are having any sort of issue, it gives us the clarity that we know that brand will also help us out with troubleshooting that or anything along those lines.
Exactly.
So going through the correct channels, it is really important to us. I would say like Visa and MasterCard are a great example of that for us, where it would have been pretty easy for us to go out there. You can find APIs, turn on generating the Visa card, but we actually have a multi-party agreement with Visa and the sponsor bank running underneath it, because they have to keep collateral at Visa for issuing these cards and everything. And again, it just gives us the clarity and certainty of like when we are saying, hey, we want people to be able, like we launched it, and then we're like, when you have stuff added to Apple Pay or Google Pay, it's called tokenization. So that tokenization, so people can legitimately add it to their Apple Pay, is really important. So that way people can tap to pay if they want to, and things like that. And those things are only possible when you do partner with the brand to get approved to sell their product. There's a little bit of friction of, like, anytime we make a change to the Visa product page, that has to be approved by Visa. If you've ever bought a Visa, you'll see that Perfect Gift is essentially the portal that you go through, and the company that we also work with to make sure that there is a portal and is a support directly with them, because Visa's not providing that direct support and everything along those lines. So I would say, especially for regions like Australia, Canada, US, UK, where the gift card infrastructure is really robust and solid. It's also very important for us to be working with those brands directly, because I think that's the best thing in terms of protecting our customers as well too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the product
yeah.
too. I've seen a lot of people figure out loopholes of doing things the less legitimate route, and then next thing you know, they get rugged. The API gets blocked, their keys or their tokens get blacklisted, right? And just as an end user of products like that, it's just, I feel like, it just sucks. And that's where I want to highlight the difference, because a lot of people don't understand, like, the difference between a real partnership and one of those like backdoor implementations of a partnership. It can start a lot of headaches, or even become like the downfall of something. And again, I'm a big end user of Bit Refill, and I've always seen it. It's like, even if I forget to claim a thing, I've had the best luck with customer support, because I'll be like, that Uber gift card that I got, I totally forgot to copy and paste it and use it. Is there any way somebody can help me? So it's like, without all of that, that wouldn't be possible. So thank you from a customer to the brand itself. But I want to wrap it up a little bit with what the ethos was for Bit Refill at ETH Denver. We are hiring. It was everywhere. I want to know a little bit about what are the opportunities that BitRefill has for those that are interested in working with BitRefill, and what kind of criteria or like, resume does it require to get a gig with BitRefill? Because I will say my bro here, Miggy, in the chat, he applied and got rejected, and I was like, if they're rejecting Miggy, how do I get a job? So what are you guys looking for specifically, and what's the process like for people that are listening? How could they apply for a BitRefill position?
Yeah. So the two main roles that we're most actively searching for right now are on the Web3 developer, to be able to like have the most state of the art kind of back end and tooling and features available to our crypto users. So that way we are staying ahead of the curve for wallet standards, infrastructure, invoicing, and payments on that. So that's something that we're always looking for talent for. Same thing with Web3 product manager. So that way we make sure that we are, not only can we build the things that folks want, but we are understanding how, maybe if something isn't a complete trend right now, how we can make sure we're there when our customers do need us for that. So, I would say, even for me 5 years ago, the BitRefill's hiring process, it's not the fastest. And that's because, like, again, culturally, even though we've been around for 12 years and we're at 90 people, is we don't ever want to do like workforce reductions or anything like that. Bear markets will come. And also, team member employee retention is incredibly important, because there's so much. If people have the comfort as well as the ownership when they're doing something, they're going to do a better job. So I would say, like, our hiring process is not the fastest. We also try to make sure that we absolutely are not over hiring. If And something to keep in mind as well too is we do have customers in 170 different countries. So you've probably seen this and our workforce is spread across 27 countries. So you probably see, like, I don't know. I don't want to speak specifically about what Miggy was going through, but like, just in the same way we were talking about of how our cryptocurrency and internet money has no borders, so does BitRefill in the way that we operate. So when you are doing that, you can't just be, again, I'm not saying that anyone isn't, but you can't just be like US focused. You also need to understand what someone in India and Australia and Italy need as well too. So that's one of the things that is probably hard for folks to understand on that, or not understand, but like.
No, I know. I talked about it on
yeah.
the show. Until you travel the world, that neuron connection in your brain doesn't connect. You can talk about it, read about it, but until you travel the world and run into the payment problems in other countries, it's really hard to kind of wrap your head around that lifestyle.
Yeah. So even whether it's a social media role, you need to know how to, or a marketing or growth marketing role, like, doing all those roles for just, keeping it simple, of like North America versus the EU. It's totally different. Same thing with like our HR team. Bless their hearts, they deal with 27 different jurisdictions, and trying to make sure that we are doing the right thing. And then even just culturally coming in, of making sure that that is someone that will be a cultural fit. I can even just say, like, on my own team, that was probably one of the there wasn't a support team when there wasn't a formal support team. Our support team, again, was like Michelle and Sergey and Devs stepping in and things like that. But some of the first people that I hired were in Sweden, Paraguay, Mexico, and you can tell, like, it coming in to that global culture, because we do need that global culture and global diversity to make sure that we are serving all of our customers across all regions, is also one of the hardest, like, growing pains coming into a remote only environment at BitRefill. Like, I don't know about you, but like, coming, my first 16 years of working, even if I had a customer that was international, like in the wine industry, most of who you're interacting with are people, in California, in the States, and things like that. And so not only having your customers be global, but also the people that you're working with and the teams that you're building being very international, is a skill that we absolutely look for in the recruiting process. And I would say, like, and the being a clear communicator and an incredibly empathetic person and sympathetic person always goes a long way. That's always, at least in my hiring rubric, for in operational roles that we're talking about, because being able to communicate across different cultures, and being able to listen, like, communicate is not just talk to them; it's also being able to listen to them and
Yes.
understand, their context and what they're going through as well too. So, all the different roles, they do have different needs, but I would say, like, hopefully I kind of touched in a general way of one of the kind of the diamonds in the rough that you're looking for on your resume is being able to work with people across, not only be able to work with people across 27 different countries, it's being able to understand customers across 170 countries as well
Right.
too.
Well, especially with like
Yeah.
the global perspective thing, again, it's really hard to kind of understand using Bitcoin as like currency here in the United States, unless, like you mentioned earlier when you introduced yourself, like you had to go through an issue with the traditional financial system to find a solution. When you learn about Bitcoin or crypto as a solution to something you're currently facing a problem, I think it clicks better than people that don't currently or never have had any financial issues, and especially here in the United States, it's pretty seamless for the majority for the most part. But when you start to zoom out and look at other areas around the world, the financial infrastructure is a lot less solid. There's way more issues, and a lot more people are kind of forced out, not really opting out, right? So this solution for them is something really important. Like, Bit Refill, it's convenient here for us in the States, but it's life saving around the world, and that's like the zoomed out big picture of like what you guys do. I guess we could kind of wrap things up here. I did have one more question if you have a few minutes. I wanted to ask
Yeah.
about the inclusion of AI. It's touching everything. Is there anything that the Bit Refill team is talking about how they could adopt or utilize AI for maybe arbitrage on gift cards or customer support, or any inclusion for AI at Bit Refill that you could talk about that we could expect maybe by the end of the year or something?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, internally at BitRefill, I think it was pretty early on when people were just like, "Oh my gosh, you can generate images on Midjourney," and we've had workshops at every moment in time to try to make sure that every single team across developers, design, product teams, even our HR teams, and our operations support and all that are being are utilizing AI in a way that does not remove the human element. Right. So we even try to think about that for customer support. Of no one wants to talk to a bot necessarily in customer support. You're like, no, I'm having an issue. I want Marina, I want Marifel to please come in and save the day on that one. And so our support team, we really we use AI immensely to make sure that we are improving our resolution time, the speed of information available to everyone, but we want to do it in a way that does not impact what the actual customer UX and UI on that. So I would say, like, big shout out to Marco, our CPO. He has really helped, and Sergey is our CEO and founder. They're both very AI forward. They always encourage us to try out new tools, to utilize new tools, and to share those learnings, because there's also maybe a way that our developers are using AI that all of a sudden our support team can come in and be like, oh, okay, cool. We can tap into that, and then also all of a sudden have information more concise and faster that will help our customers out. Or for product listings, we keeping up with product listings and redemption instructions and terms and conditions. or at least it used to be, an incredibly manual process. But now, with that being AI enabled, for us to be scraping, pulling through websites, making sure that all the redemption instructions or links to terms and conditions are as up to date and accurate as humanly possible, ultimately improves the customer experience. So I would say, like, it's really helped us kind of scale the experience that we're delivering to our customers. But then also, something that we actually do think that, agentic payments and commerce are going to be something that is a part of our, kind of quote unquote customer base in the future. That those agents will be, and so that's something, again, where Marco, Sergey, and not to leave out names or anything like that, but they've really been at the forefront of putting that together. There's multiple different payment standards that we have been putting out and adopting and opening up, our B2B channels and APIs, so that way agents can ultimately make our customers' lives easier by doing that. And one reason why we're focused on it as well too is because most of this might be running through Stripe APIs and different stuff like that, and those traditional Rails one day. But you saw it recently in a poll of AI models and agents and different things like that, they actually prefer crypto and specifically Bitcoin as their payment method. And also, the traditional payment system is really built to, like, squash bots, right? So it's going to be a leap for Wells Fargo to want an AI to have full access to your debit card linked to your bank account. That's, like, ultimately, like, what a lot of their system is built around to not do. And so that's where we think gift cards, aka closed loop systems, could actually be a way to permissionlessly let your agent spend for you and make your life easier. So we're trying to make sure that we have those rails, because it is way easier for a bot, an agent, whatever you guys want to call it, to be using for booking your trip, to have permission to a Bitcoin or crypto wallet to then say, okay, cool. I need 5,000 of Airbnb to book this trip. I need 1,000 of Southwest that they can do. Again, those are all brands that we do work with. Or, like, hey, let me make sure I buy a $500 virtual visa because you're traveling from the UK to the US and you don't want to pay all those FX fees. So let's do that and automatically add it to your Apple Wallet and things like that. So, with the permissionlessness and with how close gift cards and crypto are to cash and being permissionless, sorry, it's a little tongue tied on that one, but you know what I'm trying to say?
We all do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, need a little more coffee, right? But yeah, I think that we see it where those use cases are way easier when using both crypto and gift cards to really enable someone's life. I can even just say it of, like, something that I've been trying to test out. If because we live in an old house and we had terrible plumbing and all that, we had to do a bunch of stuff. Well, it'd be really a lot cooler of being able to type into our favorite agent, like, hey, we have to redo this leaky bathroom. Please, here's the floor plan. Here's the dimensions. Here's our budget. Now go and buy those gift cards and different things like that on Lowe's, Home Depot, to just get the right toilet, sink, washer, dryer for us, and things like that. And that agent actually is going to be able to complete that purchase, rather than there's going to be barriers if that is linked to your debit card and your entire bank account. And also, you have the more granularity and the permission of what that agent can spend, right? Because you're not giving them complete access to a debit card that can get overdrafted. Instead, you're saying, no, this is the budget that I have to make sure my bathroom isn't leaking and overflowing. Which can be priceless if you're in the moment, but you actually can, you'll be able to control what they're able to spend. And then you also know that is being spent on a vendor that's actually going to deliver that product for you as well too. So
yeah.
So
That's
that's
awesome, man. I was literally, you were
Yeah.
talking, I'm like thinking ahead a little bit, and you were literally catching up to like my imagination with that. Cause I'm like, I want to open my Phantom wallet, tell the AI bot in there that I order me some McDonald's, I'm hungry, number 2. And then it just shows up through buying the gift card on BitRefill, using BitRefill to go to the Uber Eats app, give it the gift card, order the food, and just, it shows up. Like, that's what Siri was supposed to be like 20 years ago or whatever, right? So like, it's great to see like all these dots finally being connected. I don't want to wrap it up, but I'll have to. I'll let you go, bro. I love you, and as a customer, to the head of customer happiness, I couldn't be any happier. And thank you so much for everything you guys do. Let people know where they could go to follow you, join the BitRefill community, and how they could become a part of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think that we're all probably pretty X/Twitter native, and so at BitRefill for a company account, you can always DM me or comment on me, Thomas. I'm just Thomas BTC on that one. Or if there's something that you need help with. Like a lot of our customers, like anytime if you're a first time user at BitRefill, you actually do get an email from me, and a lot of people reply to that email. That is actually coming to me. If you have feedback, if there's something that we can always do better. Also, our support team, one of the great benefits of AI is that we've been able to, keep it like we've been able to turn 14 people into essentially a 1,400 person workforce, if you will. So if there is something that you need help with, those things come across my desk, as well as most of those agents have been here for multiple years and all of that. And so if you do have feedback, you can always contact help.bitrefill.com to either try to do a live chat, submit a form, send an email, whatever you want to do if you do have feedback. But also, again, even just thomas@bitrefill.com. Hearing back from our customers is one of my favorite things. And I also do want to say, for any of our customers that are listening, you guys have just been absolute rock stars over this last week while we have had to, basically relaunch the entire platform. The patience and understanding and just sticking with us has been it makes me super proud to work at BitRefill.
Yeah, don't call it a comeback. It's an upgrade. Double O Tats, love you, bro. I don't know. I think he had to jump. Yeah, it looked like he jumped out, but appreciate you tuning in, bro. My co-host, Double O Tats. Shout out to the Bitcoin Cash community. I'll be at BCH Bliss, it looks like. I got the community helping me. I set up a fundme.cash to raise a couple Bitcoin Cash to help me go to Slovenia. And it looks like I'm about 60% of my campaign. So thank you to the community. Looks like you're sending me to another country to check off the bucket list. BitRefill, if you haven't heard of it and you're into crypto, this is how you could actually use it rather than, buy, sell. You could use crypto, so you don't have to cash out and do all that stuff. I know there's different tax reasons and things in different areas, but this is one way to, get around certain taxable events when you're just trying to get, something to eat with your crypto. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate your time. Everybody like, share, subscribe, drop a comment below, and have a day.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. to the moon. Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get your Ken Bozak.